Today we're going to take a look at the most expensive screwdriver I own, the DEWALT gyroscopic screwdriver, and why, for me, it was worth every penny of the $89 I spent on it. So the model number is DCF682N as in November 1. Weighs just over a pound. We're going to dig in a little bit closer in a minute, get an up-close look at all the different features, but I wanted to do the pros and the cons first. Trying something a little different. What do I like about it? Well, it's fairly light. It's significantly lighter, of course, than the impact driver that I normally use. It has all the torque you need, but for the most part, not too much. It's got a light on it that lights up your surface if you need it. There's no need to push in a forward or reverse button on it. It's automatic. Variable speed is great. It runs up to 430 RPMs, but right down to basically just 1. I love the touch that you can use to go as fast or as slow as you want. This is so much better than all those cheap $20 at the counter when you go to the hardware store, inexpensive electric cordless screwdrivers. My wife's got one of the pink ones at the daycare, and the thing is just a piece of junk. I love it. Now, that's like comparing apples to oranges. I get it. So the killer feature that I love about this thing, which is kind of handy, means I don't have to switch back and forth between a standard screwdriver and an electric one, is when I'm putting together furniture, if I need to just crank it down a little bit, I can just use this as a screwdriver without needing to lock anything at all. As long as I'm not holding the button down to turn it on, it will allow me to use it like a regular screwdriver. Now, what are the cons? Well, the first one is, if you don't have big sausage mitts like me, it might be a little big for your liking. Now, it doesn't bend to like the trigger style, like a handgun, like some of the other ones do, but for me, it held on really well. The next thing was, there are screws that you're like, I'd love to remove this with this, and it just doesn't do it. I had a drywall screw sunk right into an old 2x4 the other day. It wouldn't come out no matter what I tried. So it has its limitations. It's not an impact driver, it's just a screwdriver. Now, it is still possible to strip out fasteners on Ikea furniture. Ask me how I know, because I've done it a few times with my impact, which I know, it's dumb, but this will still do it if you really try, but you have to try hard to do it. Now, the next thing is the price. It's 89 bucks, which means it may not be worth buying just to keep in your junk drawer. Actually, I'm going to go one bit further. I don't think it's probably worth buying just to keep in your junk drawer at home, because you're not going to use $89 worth of value out of this. But if you're someone who puts together, a lot of Ikea furniture, or does, quite a bit of electrical work where you want to take the plates on and off, this is beautiful for that kind of stuff. Installing door locks, perfect for that. You're not going to over torque it, you're not going to scratch it, you're not going to go in and strip out the bolt. All of that's really, really good. Now, the only thing, or the odd thing about this, is getting used to the function of it. And we're going to talk about that in the up-close view, so hang on. Okay, so let's give you an up-close look at this guy, because it's small enough that we really need to. So first off, check out this little tiny compact battery. That's an 8-volt. Get it in there close so you can see it. Just fits in like that. Charger is really actually quite fast. Does not lock in there, at least that I can see. See, just fits. So slides in, slides out. That's all you need to see with the charger. So you get your standard, take it, push it in, it's locked, won't come out without pulling it back, pushing it forward, sorry, pops out just like that. I'll show you again. Now, what I want to show you, onboard battery charge, just shows you all three. So here's the switch right here. So you hold that in and it activates it. And then you go a little further to the right. And I can take my hand off. Now there's a lock here, which means if you put it in your tool bag, it's not going to accidentally get turned on and die. There's your LED work light. Hold that down to the right, to the left. No need to switch it around. Nice heavy-duty rubber grip. You can see how well that fits my big beefy hands. So let's do a weight comparison, because what I wanted to show you is what I normally use for assembling Ikea furniture. Those two right here. This guy is way heavier, but he's the one I normally use all the time for Ikea furniture. And then occasionally I need to tighten things down, so I use this. This really replaces both of those. It has less torque than that guy, and right there is much easier than screwing it by hand, but on occasion when you need to, I can use this. So let's do a weight for each one so you guys can see. Okay. 324 grams. 323 grams. Okay. 486 grams. Not that much heavier than the Milwaukee. 1,259 grams. So, this guy's about 50% more weight than this guy. But it packs all I need, but it gives me the punch of a total of 1,600 grams, 1,584 grams. Okay, nice, soft. That worked really well. Check that out. No problem at all. So it will do a normal deck screw into a 2x4. Now I did find some like drywall screws that were into some really old, kind of heavy, hard dents, either fir or spruce, something like that, and it would not budge them. So it has its limitations, but I mean, that is pretty damn impressive. If you just need to drive 1 or 2 screws, take it with you. Great for hanging pictures, great for assembling door locks, great for taking apart plumbing fixtures.